Welcome to Digital Learning. This is Amita KV, Assistant Professor in Department of Commerce, Government First Grade College, Gubi. In this video, we will understand the concept of product life cycle, meaning of product life cycle, and the stages of product life cycle. ಉತ್ಪನ್ನ ಜೀವನ ಚಕ್ರಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ, ಅದರ ಹಂತಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. So what is the product life cycle? Product life cycle, which we also call it as a PLC, is a cycle through which every product goes through from the introduction to withdrawal or eventual demise. So the term product life cycle refers to the length of time a product is introduced to the customers into the market until it's removed from the shelves. So the life cycle of the product is broken basically into 4 stages. That is the introduction stage, growth stage, maturity, and the decline stage. So product life cycle is the progression of an item through the 4 stages of its time on the market. Now let us look into the various stages of product life cycle. ಉತ್ಪನ್ನ ಜೀವನ ಚಕ್ರದ ಹಂತಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. So the product life cycle has 4 clearly defined stages, each with its own characteristics. That means different things for business that are trying to manage the life cycle of their particular products. The first stage is the introduction stage. ಅಂದರೆ ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪರಿಚಯ ಹಂತ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Once the product has been developed, the first stage is its introduction stage. In this stage, the product is being released into the market. This stage of the cycle could be the most expensive for a company launching a new product. The size of the market for the product is small, which means the sales are low, although they are increasing. On the other hand, the cost of things like research and development, the consumer testing, and the marketing needed to launch the product can be very high, especially if it's a competitive sector. The second stage is the growth stage. ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಹಂತ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Here, there is a strong growth in sales and profits, and because the company can start to benefit from economies of scale in production, the profit margins as well as the overall amount of profit will increase. This makes it possible for businesses to invest more money in the promotional activity to maximize the potential of this growth. ಸೊ ಈ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ದ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಎಕಾನಮೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಖರ್ಚು ವೆಚ್ಚಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಆದಷ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು ಈ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಇನ್ ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೆಚ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್. During the maturity stage, the product is established and the aim for the manufacturer is now to maintain the market share they have built up. This is probably the most competitive time for most products, and businesses need to invest wisely in any marketing they undertake. They also need to consider any product modifications or improvements to the production process which might give them a competitive advantage. And the fourth stage in the product life cycle is the saturation stage. Students, during this stage, the product saturation stage, the competitors have begun to take a portion of the market and products will experience neither growth nor decline in the sales. So, ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಜನ್ನು ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಆರ್ದ್ರೀಕರಣ ಹಂತ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಪರಿಪಕ್ವತೆ ಹಂತ ಅಂದರೆ ಮೆಚುರಿಟಿ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಆದ ನಂತರ ಬರೋದು ಆರ್ದ್ರೀಕರಣ ಹಂತ, ಸ್ಯಾಚುರೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್. ಸೊ ಟಿಪಿಕಲಿ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ವೆನ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಬಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಮೆನಿ ಕಾಂಪಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್. ಅಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ one has to take care that the product which the consumers are using, the brand preferences, so that they do not start to enter the decline stage. Again, the marketers need to focus on differentiation in features, brand awareness, price, and customer service. The competition reaches its apex at this stage. And the fifth stage is the decline stage. ಅವನತಿ ಹಂತ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಇಳಿಮುಖ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಉತ್ಪನ್ನಗಳು ಇಳಿಮುಖ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. Unfortunately, the market for a product will start to shrink and this is what is known as the decline stage. This shrinkage could be due to the market becoming saturated, that is all the customers who will be buying the product have already purchased it, or because the consumers are switching to a different type of a product. Okay, while this decline may be inevitable, it may be still possible for the companies to make some profit by switching to less expensive production methods and cheaper markets. So these are the 5 stages of product life cycle. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 5 ಹಂತಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಲ್ವಾ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನ ಜೀವನ ಚಕ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ. ಮೊದಲನೇದು ನಾನೇನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಪರಿಚಯ ಹಂತ ಅಂತ. ಎರಡನೇದು ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆಯ ಹಂತ. ಮೂರನೇದು ಪರಿಪಕ್ವತೆ ಹಂತ ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬೋದು ನಾವು. ನಾಲ್ಕನೇದು ಆರ್ಧೀಕರಣ ಹಂತ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಕೊನೆಯದಾಗಿ ಅವನತಿ ಹಂತ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ನೀವು ಈ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಕೆಲರ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಗ್ರಾಫಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಎಟ್ ದ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಂತ. ಸಿ ಎಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ದ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಹೈ ಹಿಯರ್, ಬಟ್ there is a slow sales volume. There is no competition. The demand has to be created here, and the customers are to be prompted to try the product. So it makes very little money here at this stage. So that is the introduction stage. The second stage, as I said, the growth stage. Here the costs are reduced due to the economies of scale, but the sales volume are increasing significantly. Remember that. The profitability also begins to rise here, and also there is an increase in public awareness. And the competition begins to increase with a few new players in establishing market. So there is an increased competition which leads to price decreases at the growth stage. In the third stage, we see here there is a slight increasing trend at the maturity stage, right? So the costs are reduced as a result of production volume. The sales volume peaks and the market saturation is reached here. There is an increase in competitors because they are entering into the market, and the prices tend to drop due to the proliferation of the competing products. The brand differentiation and feature diversification should be emphasized here if we have to increase the market share. So the industrial profits will go down at this stage, at the maturity stage. And we can see here at the saturation, okay, stage and the decline stage. This is the peak point, a decline where the product becomes obsolete. We can see that the sales volume is drastically declining. The prices, profitability is also diminishing, and the cost becomes counter, or it is optimal here. So this is the decline stage. Hope students you have understood the concept of the product life cycle, the stages of product life cycle. Thank you.